Hello everybody, this is Josh Play Place, and today we continue to grow, improve, and expand our city of Port Austin in Cities Skylines 2 in this episode number 16. So let's try to see what kind of trouble we can get into today. Enjoy. And well, as you can recall, we actually were able to kind of do something nice in this little area, what we call Castle Park. Yeah, I think that's what we can call it. I don't think there's a district, but we can make one right now while we continue to talk about it. Like I mentioned, it's a bit of a shame that we are not able to do more when it comes to parks, right? And so I really wish that, let me put it in here, Castle Park. I really wish that there was a lot more to do with park zones like we had in Cities Skylines 1. I think it's a big missed opportunity. And well, let's take a look at our city. It's growing rather nicely. As you can see, it's growing, it's getting there. And once again, we are building this more towards an American or a North American way of building cities. We still need to do a lot of growth in here, and that's what we are gonna do today. But overall, I think everything is working fine. Now we have the airport, we have a seaport, we have a train station, and we have buses going out and coming in to our city. We are also doing well in terms of money, as you can see here. Right, so we are doing well. And let's take a look at our info panel. So basically, want to make sure that we have enough electricity, which we do. Also enough water and sewage treatment, we do. Healthcare, I think it's gonna be time to start doing more in terms of healthcare. Maybe add another clinic. I think that's gonna help a lot, especially because we don't have anything on this side. And maybe this one, yeah, it's a bit overwhelmed. So let's add this extension wing, and that's gonna give a bit of a breather to them. So you know what? Let's add another one, another little medical clinic. I don't think a hospital is needed for now. And as you can see, it's a big expense. So we'll add another medical clinic, and we'll put it here just for now. And that should be able to help us. And we gonna upgrade this, and we'll take a look at it later. Going back into our info tab, we can see the garbage management. It's going well. I think it's gonna work well for now, especially since we did the this other recycling center. We do have to expand it, right? But overall, I think it's gonna well, because we haven't really added much compared to this one. This recycling center has a processing of 2,400 tons, and this one 16. So again, we should be fine for now in terms of garbage. In terms of fire rescue, also I think we're fine. I don't think we had that many issues. I think the biggest issue that we have is tornadoes, and we actually did something already with this fire station, and we added the disaster response unit. So we're doing well in that regard. In terms of disaster control, yeah, that's something that we need to work on. Now here's a couple of issues. First of all, yes, we do need disaster control, and that's going to help us. I really don't think that it makes a big difference. And I also think that the upkeep can be tremendous once you have an actual disaster. And since we get being hit with disasters, that's going to be bad. We also have the early disaster warning system, which I think we should be able to place down soon. Well, depending on what we do with the expansion here. But at least we can do something like this, which is the small shelter, which houses 1,000 people, just to kind of give it a little bit of a green to some areas, right? We can do one here, and let's do another one in this area. Let's figure out where we're gonna put it, and I think this is a perfect place, right? Again, we do have to add these larger ones, but again, we need to have a larger flow of money. Even though right now we're doing well, I think we just need to start saving up to pay for that. Now, in terms of police, I think everything is fine, right? Of course, we have some areas that are not being looked at that much, but or patrolled that much, or with the crime probability high. But I think that's fine. I think all of the police stations, well, except this one, so I'll add the extension and also to this one, the garage extension, and I think I'm gonna do the same for this. And I'm sure this one already has it, but it doesn't, so let's put it. And this one. I think next we should think about adding the actual police headquarters. I think that's gonna help a lot, as you can see. And we can maybe even put it here or here. Or I think this would be a great place, right? So let's put this really quick, because then we'll forget, and I don't wanna forget that we're gonna do this. I think that looks well enough. Okay, but otherwise, it's going well with the police. In terms of administration, I think we're gonna have to add another, and I think we'll do it. We'll put it here. Another one of these welfare offices. I think that works really well. So we'll put it. I think here it's gonna be great. Right, and that's gonna work well enough. We also have to put the city hall as well as the central bank. I'm a little bit more interested in the city hall, right? It's also gonna give us a nice area to put it in. And our biggest issue is education. As you can see, it's more than twice the amount of eligible elementary school students, and we only have capacity for 13,000 out of 32,000. High school is a similar thing, almost a third, right? 9,200 eligible, 3,900 capacity. College, also the same thing, and it's even worse. It's almost, I think, about 3-4 times almost. And same thing with the university, which is even worse, at least 5 times more need for a university. The only issue that we have with that is that those are expensive. For example, if we want to do another university, it's going to be at least 1.6, or in case of the medical university, 2.4 million, 1.6 million, and even the most affordable one, which is something that we have in here, is going to be a lot of money. Again, we do need it. We just need to continue having this nice profit per month, right? And once we get that going, I think it's going to be just great. Since we have need for commercial, we're going to put it, but let's continue here. Again, telecom, we're fine. I think what we're gonna do next is upgrade this into the larger tower, and I think that's gonna help everybody in here. In terms of leisure, again, everything is okay. We have enough areas, so I think that's fine. And last but not least, we're only gonna check at happiness, and almost everything is going well here, so there is no need to worry about anything else. So first of all, let's add a little bit of business commercial. So we're gonna put it in here, and that's gonna help us with this. And we're gonna add, sure, we're gonna add some in here too, but we're gonna add also some low density offices. So that's gonna go well for now. And so I wanna keep expanding on this side. So first of all, let's see which squares we can buy. I think we should be fine with these 4, which is actually not that much. I'm surprised that it's not more than that. So let's do that. And we are gonna do, I don't think we can do an exit here, so we might do it on this one, right? I think this is gonna be fine, but not in here. I don't wanna mess up this, which actually looks rather nice. So I'm gonna first, I will extend this avenue, this large road, just to make sure that we don't have any issues. And yeah, that's fine. I'm gonna do the same thing here, and just to make sure everything's fine. The terrain is a little bit different, but I think that's gonna work just well enough for this. So we're gonna do this and just continue this one here, and that's fine. And I know once we buy this, we are actually also gonna add another space here, another subdivision in neighborhood there. So I think this is big enough, right? And just for the sake of it, I think I'm gonna add this extra square here, right? We already have some for the commercial areas, so that's gonna help us. And I also think I'm gonna do some for these things that we have in here. And I just need to check how big this is gonna be. So it's gonna take at least 3 more, right? So I'm gonna do it in here. And that's, I think, gonna be good enough. So let's create another neighborhood and we'll be back. well, I think that's gonna develop rather nicely. Of course, all the demand went down, so that's something, right? And we also, I think we might be able to zone this. I think I'm gonna zone that here in the back. We're gonna zone it for office, and in the front we will do commercial. Right, so I think that's gonna work rather nicely. Some of the things that also maybe the developer should look at is this situation, right? I completely understand that you want to have roundabouts and that roundabouts are going to take a little bit of space here, but I think that should be part of how all these buildings are made, right? There's no reason why we couldn't take this little corner off and still have a working building. And I think that's an oversight that I think should actually be looked upon, because I think that will make things look a lot better and a lot more realistic. Let me work on this real quick. And I think that's looking rather nice. So let's see where our buses are stopping at. So let's add another bus stop in here, and another one here, and one more right here. So let's expand that line really quick. Sometimes there's just glitches, and the bus will not stop if, like you saw in here, it was not showing the line, right? And let's take a look at that line just to make sure that there's enough buses. So this is an 87. Yeah, let's add 3 more. I think that's gonna work a whole lot better, because we do have places where there's a lot of people waiting, especially this one. Yeah, it's a very busy stop, as you can see. It's just incredible. First of all, it's nice to see that people are using public transportation, right? But it's just crazy to see that they're just right there, like they're making they're in line, and it's crazy. So this will also lead us into next week's, or next episode rather than next week's, next episode, which will be about changing this into adding a tram line. So we haven't done trams yet in here, and I'm very interested to see how things are gonna go. And I think it's gonna work great, because we can add a tram that goes from the harbor into the airport into this train station. I think that's gonna work really well. And so, as you can see, we have options for train, tram, and we haven't opened the subway one. After seeing how some European cities are, I still think that trams are the best option for us right now, right? I don't wanna make it a big deal, but that's how we are gonna do it. And like in here, yes, we're gonna have trams, and we're gonna try to figure out how well or how bad that works. Trams are not that expensive. As you can see, it's cheaper than putting a bus depot, but is what's gonna be a little bit more difficult is trying to figure out how to better serve this population, because of course we're gonna have a tram run all the way here to here, and we're gonna try to figure out how that's gonna work. If we're gonna have to destroy or eminent domain some of these houses, or if that's gonna be fine. There's also an issue with high rent. I mean, you already have all of these here. What we will do is we're gonna add a little bit more of low, this one that's here, that's low rent housing, and hopefully that will work a little bit better. We don't have a need for high density, so we are good for now, but hopefully that will be something to look at. And before we go, we need to add a little bit more of commercial, and I think this will be a great place to put it. So we're gonna add a little bit more commercial in here, even though the area doesn't seem to be that green like in here for commercial, which means that we need to add more commercial in this area and maybe here. I still think that putting that there is also going to help with the demand. Let's see, we're still making good money. We're making more money than we actually need, which is really good. And let's just make sure that all our services are at 100%. I know that sometimes we lower them, but again, just always double check just to make sure. And I think we're gonna be done for today. Again, a shorter episode because sometimes we just need to get some money to build, and also I think that's one of the issues with this game. It takes a long time to save up money if you provide enough services, right? And even if you don't provide enough services, like you can see, we need a lot of schools, a lot of high schools, colleges, and universities. I still think that it takes a bit too long to accumulate your money to continue building stuff. And I'm jealous of the people living in this house because they have a beautiful view of the skylines of our city, and I think it's looking rather nice. Everybody in here has a really nice view, right? So I'll be jealous of anybody in here. Maybe this will be the best one. It's a nice little house that I wish people would park in here. Unfortunately, that's another issue. And also we have some houses in here, and I also think that the view for these people is just rather, I think this is better than the other one. Definitely would get a house in here. I'm sure you would too. Again, I want to thank you for watching and liking this video and for subscribing to this channel. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, of course, make sure to leave them at the comment section, and we'll make sure to make the best out of them. Again, thank you for watching this video, and we'll see each other on our next episode where we start adding trams into our city. Take care.